I would like to welcome everyone to Splurge or Save. This is going to be a massive series where I'm going to tell you if you should splurge your money a little bit and buy this game, or if you should save a little bit and not buy this game. The game we're going to be talking about today is called Repo. It's a game where the taxman wants us to get his riches, but we have to play as these robots since all of humanity is dead. Some of those dead people mutated into monsters that we now have to avoid, kill, distract, get away from, just so we can beat the level. This game is very similar to Lethal Company, so if you really like that, you'll definitely want to pick this one up. The way that this video is going to work is that I'm going to talk about pros and cons of this game. I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of the monsters and what they do. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to deal with them. And then I'm probably going to discuss some of the maps, but there's only like 4 in the game, so that shouldn't take too long. Let us get started with these cons. Con number 1. You have to have friends to really enjoy this game. This is a con. This is a pro. It really just depends on who you are and how you like to play games. The second con of the game. This one is actually a con, by the way. The melee is awful. And it's especially bad if you aren't the host. It's just really hard to hit anything. It sucks. Now, on to lighter news. The pros. The first pro is going to be the exact opposite of my first con. It's a pro that I get to play with friends. On to pro number 2. There are different monsters in each map, right? They respawn every time. They swap. You get different ones. You have so many slots. They fill up. And then certain enemies are geared towards certain sizes. So we got like the Trudge. He's a big boy, right? We love him. He's massive. So he's going to take up a large slot, right? But your little gnomes might take up only a small slot. Pro number 3, the enemies don't upscale, but the map does. Now this could be a pro or a con, it really just depends on who you are, but the enemies don't do any more damage than they did to you at the beginning of the game, but now there are more pits everywhere. And this really doesn't get that noticeable till you hit about round 10, which by the way, I've never made it there because I suck at this game. Pro number 4, noticing a trend here, way more pros than cons. You don't need that good of a PC or a laptop to run this game. This is great. My girlfriend actually plays this game on a little HP laptop. $300 laptop, can barely run anything, right? She's playing this game perfectly, and it doesn't take up a lot of storage. Alright, let's start talking about some of these enemies. First up, we're going to do the Huntsman. This is my personal favorite monster in the game, but he's also one of the hardest to deal with if you don't know what you're doing. There is a tip for him, but it's not very easy to pull off. It's the grab and rotate method. You grab him and then you hold right click to rotate him, and it should throw him on the ground, and then you can pick him up and throw him by his feet. It is not easy to pull off though. Alright, next up, big boy number 1, Trudge. He's the biggest enemy, I believe. I don't know if the bow tie is bigger than him or not. He's easy to avoid unless he catches you by surprise. He can hit you through walls. This has happened twice now. He also does almost 1,500 damage with his hammer, if not more. No one can actually calculate it, apparently, if it hits you directly. Now, he'll slam his hammer down, pull you in, and that'll get you. He can also hit you under tables, but he's so slow, it doesn't even matter. Next up is the Upscream. He's not really that deadly. He's very, very annoying, and he will throw you into pits, especially if you're super late game. He'll really mess you up. The best tip that I have for him is to just kill this guy immediately as soon as you see him. You know, you just go grab something and kill him, because he will bother you the entire run. Next up is the Shadow Child. More annoying than anything else, she will grab you and throw you, just like a couple other enemies, right? But she's up so high, because she's so tall, she'll like throw you over objects into stuff, so you kind of got to watch out for that. She is almost impossible to kill, so the tip for this one is to just turn around. You will hear children giggling as soon as she pops up in front of you or your friends, and then you can just turn around if it's you. If not, just keep moving like nothing happened. She will also store, like, if your teammates looked at her for any amount of time, she'll store that energy for you. Next up is the Peeper. This one is apparently like an S tier and danger rating for when you're late game because it'll distract you. You can't look at anything but the Peeper because that's what it does. I recently got killed by this thing. Like, I thought this thing wasn't deadly at all, and then it killed me because I had like no health, and it forced me to look at it in the stupidest hallway imaginable, and I couldn't get out of it, right? Just super annoying late game. My tip: objects can block your line of sight, right? So if you got something in your hand, put it in front of its eyes. It's easier to deal with if you're playing with friends, as they can tell you where to go, or I think you can go into like the Q mode, and then they can grab you and carry you around if you go into object mode. Next up is the apex predator, also known as the duck. Very, 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 very annoying. Very, 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 very annoying, right? But it just jumps in front of you the whole time, so you can't really grab anything unless it's not near you. My tip for this one: if you have the money for the extract, lead it to the extract onto the platform, start the extract. As soon as it says 2, click on the duck. It'll kill it. You'll also get the money for that too. Moving on to the bow tie. I have ran into this enemy 2 times. That's it. The entire time I've been playing this game. Apparently it's really annoying late game because it can blow you into pits and stuff like that. It's pretty easy to avoid though. And if it blows you once, it will run away. Like, it runs away from you right after that. My tip? Yeah, I don't have one. I don't know how to deal with this enemy. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to be moving on to one of my least favorites, the Hidden. I hate the Hidden. And I don't even know if the Hidden is a he, but he is one of the most annoying enemies in the entire game. The Hidden will pick you up, drop you in pits, or they'll drop you right next to an enemy, or they'll just drop you in the most inconvenient spot, and then you have to run all the way across the map. You never know. My tip, first, try to kill them immediately. Mines are pretty effective, but you'll never really see him. You can kind of see his breath, and then you'll know he's grabbing you. He also has very low HP. And the second tip for him is apparently you can grab a teammate out of his arms. And I did pull this off the other day, but it was the first time I've ever pulled this off. Now on to the Animal. Probably one of the most disturbing looking enemies in my opinion, but it's really one of the least inconvenient enemies. He's mildly annoying, not really a threat, but he can destroy items pretty easily and he'll knock you into pits. Tip: kill him. That's it. Pretty easy to kill, or just avoid him, one or the other. Onto the Gnomes, another really annoying enemy, especially late game. They can ruin runs. They do more damage to valuables than they do to you. They are just annoying, right? The tip for them is to just kill them. I mean, that's all you have to do with them anyways. There's really no tip I can give. Next up is the Rugrat, also known as the Baby. They throw items at you, and it usually kills you. If it doesn't, it'll do a lot of damage. They're very, very annoying as well. Many enemies in this game are very annoying to deal with. If this one picks up a big item and throws it at you, you're dead. But if they pick up like a small item, throw it at you, you should be fine. Just know that the bigger the item, the more damage it does. The tip: try to kill on sight, but they come out of nowhere with an item half the time. We are now moving on to my least favorite enemy in this entire game, the Robe. She is silent. Doesn't make any noise whatsoever. Your teammate was just in that room. He leaves the room with an item. You go into that room. Bam, dead. Dead. She does 100 damage. Very early game. She'll cook an entire run. She'll kill you all. You're going to see a clip in the video. That clip was random. That just randomly happened. She can attack you under tables too. The tip is to lose line of sight and hide. She's very, very slow if you do not look at her. Just don't look at her. She'll double speed right at you. Now the Mentalist, also known as the Alien. I've only ran into this enemy a couple times, but I've never had any problems with him. Not that threatening. Apparently in late runs he can be pretty annoying, especially single player, because there's not much you can do to avoid him. The tip: you can grab friends when the when the Mentalist, he'll clap and it'll turn red. Run in and grab your friends when it does that. That's the only tip. I lied, sorry, not the only tip. He's also really, really, really blind, like he can't see anything. So you can hide right in front of him and he'll have no clue that you're there. Now moving on to the Spewer. So I personally hate the Spewer and do not like when he grabs me because it just makes everything more annoying. Like, my goal is to grab items and go. I'm not trying to kill anyone. But if you're trying to kill enemies, the Spewer is more helpful than annoying because enemies won't react to you most of the time if it's on you. But I think that's a lie. I think I made that up because they've always attacked me recently. I just hate when he gets on me. The tip, I had a tip, but I debunked my own tip and it wasn't true. So I don't have another one. On to the Chef. This is the easiest enemy to deal with in the game. Like, he literally doesn't do anything. He's very predictable. You'll see him jump at you and he'll pull his knives out, smile, and then he'll jump. So it takes him 20 minutes to even jump at you, and then you can just move. If you happen to get hit, he doesn't even send you tumbling that far. It's really not a problem. The tip, get him to launch at you where he'll land into a pit, or just kill him, or just avoid him. Doesn't really matter. Bangers. They are also not that deadly compared to the Chef. They do 30 damage. They might send you flying, so they might end your runs later on. They do a lot of damage to items too, but nothing really. The tip is hitting them on the floor 2 times and makes them light, but I've never gotten it to like work. Maybe it did work and I just didn't notice, and that's why it damaged me for 30 health every single time I did it. I don't know. The Clown, another one of my favorites. Very slow, very easy to avoid, hard to kill though. The reason he's a favorite is because every time you see him, you know you're going to survive because he's so easy to avoid. He can hear you, like I said. Best friends with the Duck because the Duck will give you away to everything, but especially the Clown. His attacks are very easy to avoid, yet again. The tip, when he goes to do that beam attack, as long as you're not crouched, you can duck it. If you are already crouched and he goes to do the beam attack, you can then jump it. He also does a kick attack, just dodge it. It's very slow, you'll see it coming. He will also attack you under tables with that same kick attack, so make sure you're like under a deep table or something like that if you want to avoid him. The last enemy, I saved one of the worst for last. The Reaper. Very, 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 very deadly early game because you are so slow and you have no stamina that she will just destroy you. It happens to me all the time. But she's also really only present in the early game. Like, you really only see her early game most of the time. She's pretty easy to avoid, pretty easy to kill. The tip is just stay away from her, or you can stun her with a medium item, but she can knock items out of your hand. So if you're holding something up to her, she'll knock that right out of your hands. She can also attack you under tables, so yet again, you're gonna have to watch out for that. Next up, we're going to talk about the maps. I said that there were 4 maps in the beginning of this video. There's only 3 in the game right now, but it is confirmed that we're getting a new map called the Museum. I don't know when this update is going to come out, but we'll just go over the 3 that are in the game quick. We got Headman Manor, Mechanic Station, and Swiftbroom Academy. The worst of the 3 is Headman Manor. This map is a maze. You literally get lost if you turn one corner. The doors on it suck because they always fall off, or either they always fall off or they're way too heavy and they're the thinnest doors in the game, and it just doesn't make any sense. The Mechanic Station is a much better map, but usually it's pretty big and there's a lot to it, but it's way easier to deal with. And then you got Swiftbroom Academy, which by far is my favorite map. I prefer this map because I know it a little bit better than the other 2. And there's cooler items on this map, and especially that there's more expensive items on Swiftbroom Academy. Next up, we're going to talk about some of the upgrades you can buy in your shop to help you throughout your run. So the first we're going to talk about is range. This one gives you a longer range. You can grab stuff from further away. Super easy. The next one, Tumble Launch. This one gives you like a dodge roll, I guess. I never use it because I'm awful at it, but it gives you a tumble launch distance. Like when you do the tumble launch, which I don't even know how to do because I'm bad at it, you go further. Next up is stamina. This one makes you run longer. My preferred upgrade is stamina because I'm tired of always being out of stamina the entire match, like the whole match. Then we got strength. Strength is very important in single player, but in duo or whatever runs with friends, you can have one friend just stack strength and that's usually enough, but it's very helpful single player. Health. Health gives you more health. Always a good one, but honestly, I never really go for that one unless I need more health. Then we got map player count. This one I never buy either because I don't understand why you would need it. This one's to help you find your friends' bodies, and I think you would only need this if you were playing with 6 other people, because when me and my friends play, I know where they died. I watched them die in front of my eyes usually. So I don't really understand the point of this one, and I don't know if anyone actually buys that one because it's ridiculously expensive too. So it just doesn't make sense to go for it. Then we got the extra jump. This one is great. Gives you a double jump. Very helpful. I don't know if you can buy it more than once and it stacks, so then you can get like 7 jumps in a row. That would be awesome. I've never tried it though. I've only gotten one, and that was still great. And then the last one we're going to talk about is sprint speed. This is by far the best upgrade in the game. By far. Makes you run faster. Who wouldn't want that, right? That's very, very helpful for getting away from these enemies and keeping your distance. Now we're going to move on and start talking about the weapons in the game. We're going to start with the guns, and I'm probably not going to go over the melee weapons because they're melee weapons. Just buy them if you want to hit the enemy with them. But the trank gun is a great weapon. It puts the enemies to sleep for a short time, which you can either then go around them or you can try and kill them while they're asleep. Very effective. Usually it's around 16k, so it's kind of expensive, and I really wouldn't grab it till you're at about round 5 anyways. Then we got the normal gun. Do not buy this. The aiming is awful. It is impossible to aim. You have to wait. It jiggles around for 15 minutes before you actually hit anything. Next up, we got the shotgun. This one is really good, but also ridiculously expensive. You're going to see it going for 91k, which is a lot. But it is really good, and it's great for like just killing enemies if you're at that point in the game anyways. Now I'm going to tell you about these drones. There's a lot of these, and admittedly, I've never bought any of them, and you'll kind of see why as I go through. The feather drone, it attaches to items and makes them lighter, so you don't need strength to pick this item up anymore. Well, you might still need some strength. I don't know if it like just completely gets rid of it, like the weight on it, so you don't need any strength, or if it just lessens the amount you would need. That I don't know because I've never bought it. Next up is the recharge drone. This one recharges your items without you having to go back to the truck, so you can use this on the guns, and I think even some of the melee weapons require recharge drones or just to be recharged in general, and I've never bought this because I've never needed it. The roll drone. I've seen this one used on the Mentalist a lot for some reason. Specifically the Mentalist is what people use this on, but it just makes enemies and items roll. It's also relatively affordable for what it does. You're looking at usually 9 to 11k for that one. Next up, we're going to do the zero gravity drone. This one is ridiculously expensive at 25k. This one reduces the gravity of whatever it's attached to, including the player. So it'll make them float, I guess. I don't know if... I assume you can attach it to enemies and it just makes them float. But it'll run out of charged energy too, I think, so it'll eventually bring them back down. And then the last one, the indestructible drone. This one seems the most useful, but is also the most expensive. It's literally exactly what it sounds like. It makes the item indestructible, whatever you put it on. It does not work on players, but it will make every item indestructible. So that vase you keep breaking every time you pick it up, now indestructible. And the rest of the items in the shop are kind of self-explanatory, but we got mines. Another thing I want to point out is always look at your prices on everything because your prices change. So sometimes you'll find a med kit for, let's say, 3K, but then you'll find another one that's 4K for some reason, but they're the exact same med kit. So pay attention to your prices because they can be different on each individual item. All right, now we're going to talk about some of the items that are just on the maps that can help you save runs. These are items that you can use as weapons that you can find on the map without spending any money, but most of them are actually worth quite a lot, so I wouldn't even recommend using most of these as weapons because they're kind of hard to control sometimes. We'll start with the propane tank. It's on mechanic station only, and you have to hit it on the ground to get it to start the flamethrower part, and then you can just use it as a flamethrower basically, but it's only on the station. Next is the power crystal. This one is only on Swift Broom Academy. This one's worth quite a lot as well, but you have to hit it 3 times on literally anything and it'll explode. This one I would recommend actually using as a weapon because it's pretty effective and it doesn't take that much to activate it. It's also not really worth more than 3 grand most of the time, so it's an easy weapon. Next up is the barrel. This one is also on Mechanic Station only. It's also worth like 10K most of the time. This one I would not use as a weapon, but it can blow up if you need it to. I've never gotten it to blow up somehow, but it can. And then next is the flamethrower, also only on Mechanic Station. But the flamethrower is literally a flamethrower. That one's pretty self-explanatory. You have to click there's a little lever at the top of it. You click on that and then it'll start up and you can use it as a flamethrower. Next up is the saw. This one is on Headman Manor. This one's not a good weapon. It's only worth like 3 grand, so I would just use it for the money. It's not very good. Then the Master Potion. This one's on Swift Room Academy as well. This is massive. It's just a big item. You can use it to hit enemies with it. It's very effective for knocking enemies down and stuff like that. Clown Bomb's up next, and this is honestly one of the best weapons you can use in the game that you can find on the map. It's worth typically around 3 to 5K, and it's very good as a weapon. You just have to click its nose 3 times, and then it'll spin, and it turns into like a grenade more than a bomb. You just click that nose, and then it beeps, and then he spins his head, and then he blows up. Very good weapon, but also great for the money too. And then the last one we'll talk about is the staff. This is actually called Dumgolf's staff. I didn't know that till I looked it up for the video, and it's Dumgolf's staff. This one is a very dangerous weapon. It's always worth a lot, but it's super hard to control for some reason. So you pick it up and like it always somehow hits the ground, and if the crystal on top hits the ground, it turns into the clown's laser beam and it will kill you or do a lot of damage to you every single time. This one is also really good at destroying objects, so you got to be careful using this as money. Now we're going to talk about mods. So this game is very easily modded. You can download the Thunderstorm mod app and they're everywhere in there. I have a modded version that I've been playing, and it is fun, but there is a little bit more lag because it adds so much with all the mods that I have. There's one that adds Freddy Fazbear to it, and that one's honestly one of the most fun because he's like an entire different enemy than everything else. Like he does his own thing. It's really fun to be against him, and he's super slow, and he disappears for some reason. I don't know how he does that, but yeah, he does that. And then there's one that makes it so you have to hit a confirm button on your extract. That one is the most useful mod I've ever seen, and I think that should be in the vanilla game because it's very helpful. Then there's mods that make it so you can change your outfit and wear something different, and those are fun and silly. And then the last one I'll talk about is the server mod. That one's super fun. They've confirmed that they're going to try and work on an actual server list for the game, but this mod does work. I mean, not for me. Every time I pull it up, it doesn't show any servers, but every time I host a game, immediately someone joins it. So it does work, but I can't ever join anyone else's for some reason. Most of the mods just add like a bunch of different stuff that you can grab for money and stuff like that. there you can just look through all of them and see what to add. There's one that's called specifically God Pack for Repo, and it's just like all the mods thrown into one. And then you can go in and remove ones you don't want, make sure you read what they all do. One of them, when I did that, changed the language on the game to Spanish though, so you got to watch out for that. I don't remember which one it was. Next up, we're going to do something fun. We're going to see what my bird thinks of this game. So I have 2 cockatiels. One of them is named Gigi. He's a white-faced cockatiel, male. When you see him, you'll usually know that this game is approved because I can get him to nod his head at me. And so, you know, like, yes, this is a good game kind of thing. And then my other bird is named Georgita. She is a female Lutino cockatiel, which means she has a bald spot on the back of her head. Apparently that's like a genetic thing that comes with these birds, but I can't make her nod, so I'll make her angry, so she'll be the no, do not buy this game if you see her. We're about to see if Gigi approves of this game or if Georgita disapproves of this game. And that looks like this one's a yes from Gigi. Thank goodness. Now I'm going to summarize my thoughts here and what I think of this game, and then that'll be the end of the video finally. It might be a little bit longer than you were hoping, but hopefully you enjoyed everything. So on a scale, I'm going to do a scale of 1 to 5. So on a scale of 1 to 5 single player, I give this game a 4. And the reason for that is just because I don't think it's as fun single player. I've been playing it a lot more single player recently, but I just don't think it's as fun as when I'm playing with someone else. I get bored a little bit quicker is all that happens, but a 4 is pretty good. The game runs smooth. It's fun to play to see how far I can get, that kind of thing. Multiplayer. So for multiplayer, I'm going to give this game a 5 out of 5. I think that this game is fantastic fun with friends, even with the problems with attacking and melee and stuff like that. Because in my opinion, to play the game, I'm avoiding the monsters. I don't want to fight the monsters. The whole point is to try to avoid them. So I think killing them is like, yeah, obviously you get rewarded if you kill them. So I guess it's not a bad thing to do it, but I just don't see the need for it. And I would rather just avoid them at all costs. So that way I can have more fun playing the game. Because imagine you're just walking around killing all the enemies and then you get all the money and you do all the extracts. Like, you really didn't do anything there. But if that's how you want to play, that's how you want to play. But I think this game shines with friends, and I'm going to say that yes, you should splurge a little and buy this game for $10 on Steam right now. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this because this took a lot longer than I thought it would for me to make and get everything correct. This is my first video ever, so a lot of my audio stuff might be messed up, might sound weird. If you notice something and you want to leave a comment, please do, because I'll try and improve on that. But this is my first video ever, my first time doing this, so hopefully everything turns out okay and you liked it. Thank you guys for watching. Please come back. I'm going to do either Kirby and the Forgotten Land next, or I'm going to do Sniper Elite Resistance, as I've recently played Sniper Elite Resistance, so we'll do one of those games next. So if you want to see something about those games, come back and watch that one.